I developed this planning tool over many years of starting small and then building it and building it around what works for me. As I've grown, become a family person. I've grown in different sectors. I've worked abroad, so I've developed this tool to actually support my own life, and also to be able to speak about it as a tool that can be used by anybody else who wants to be deliberate and who wants to be active in their own development. So that's a tool that it doesn't really have one source, but it's out of my own experience that I developed certain tools to plan and to effectively chart out a future for myself and my family. I was a general manager when I was 29, which is quite young if you think about it. Somebody just believed that I would be able to manage a big section of a business. And before that, I was a trade marketing executive. I was in the field as a salesperson. And being a salesperson requires you to plan. So this plan really helped me to plan to get to GM at 29. And then I developed the people skills after 29. Actually, my big story is after I was put in charge of a division. What did I do then? Because I was quite successful as a lone worker, but now when you're working and people are reporting into you, then that tool really helped me. So I created a tool. I created a page per person that I was managing, and started to treat them as individuals, and treat them differently so that they can achieve a collective goal. And my own discipline, people take the example of their leader, so my own discipline encouraged a lot of people to start planning as well. That's why it started, and that's how it has helped. My husband is very involved in planning. Actually, the plan that we have as a family is broad, and I think most people like to do a broad plan. But I go deeper and then actualize what his vision is for the family, with simpler plans for the support system that I have. So every child in our house has a vision board, and they're allowed to express themselves. It doesn't always work, but there is a plan. There's a base on how to plan. In fact, if they just picked a picture of what they would like to do, if it's sports or in the future, it's already a plan. So I keep the base plan, and I keep mentoring and encouraging those that are in my family, especially because that's my support system and that's my base. And then in the workplace, I have the same sort of behavior, same sort of treatment to people that work with me. Because when you're a leader and you're organized, people somehow get organized as well. I think the challenges that we have, especially as women leaders, is looking for perfection and looking for the perfect plan that won't fail, and that is never really possible in life. The plan always has a change on the way, but the blueprint really doesn't change. So the challenge I really face is expanding the amount of time I have for my children. As a mother, I've got that need or that want to be available to my children. So I've put it in the plan. So I'll drop my kids to school twice a week. I'll be available for them each day. Each day I have a child in mind to help them with focus, or just to sit and talk with them. So I do have my family in the plan, and I often ask myself whether it's enough, and whether they will know that I'm maximizing the time that I'm with them, and also understand that their needs are also for quantity and quality of time. So balancing work and life is, I think, a continuous challenge for women leaders especially, but also even for male leaders as well. My plan has become better as a family person because of this need to balance balance and to be available to my children, and also to have a life as a person, as an individual, outside my family. I have some free, no plan times, no schedule times like Saturday afternoons. I will have an open view about what I will do, and to do some fun activity, to relax, to rest. I just find that I'm not very spontaneous. In that plan, I'm more spontaneous. My spontaneity is in that space that I've created to do something that I want to do, something relaxing. So I love playing golf, so I will schedule at least a round of golf once a week, and make sure that I do it. When I'm there, I'm really having fun. I'm enjoying. I'm free, but then it has an end, and then I come back home and continue with the other things that I have to do as a person. My planning is a lot. It's intense. I'd done it many years before I met him, and I was very, very understanding and accommodating that he wouldn't be planning as much as I will. And I don't actually expect him to plan as much as I will. And in the beginning, he thought it was quite interesting, but the intensity never stopped. So at some point, he'll put his character in as well. And I just admire the way that he still continues to do things with not as an intense plan as the one that I have. So intensity of the plan is very individual. You can choose the intensity of a plan, but not having a plan is not a good idea. So he'll have a plan of what he wants to do, and he'll write it down broadly. Whereas I'll have a plan of what I want to do, and I will write the time and the day and the routine on when I will check it. So our differences are there, and the way I plan and the way he plans is different. But we're living one life together, so we are respectful of having at least a matched and aligned plan at the end of the day. I do an annual plan, but I do it in February. I don't know why February, but I think it's to reduce the pressure of a January plan. So I do a February to January, end of January plan, and the overall goals for each of those areas of life are included in the annual plan. And in those goals, then I have a routine check on the big goals, whether I check monthly, weekly, or daily. So, for example, daily I check my boys' homework. It's a daily routine. Weekly I plan the next week, and then monthly I'll have the monthly routines that I will do. You know, visiting parents or friends, doing an activity that is helpful for us as a family, for me as an individual. So I've got about many lines that have different review times, but every Sunday evening I'm always planning the next week. And every morning when I wake up at 5 o'clock, I somehow plan the day, what I will do, what it will look like, what I can expect during that day. And it's become a habit. So if something changes during the day, I'm still able to adjust because I know that my base is strong. My annual plan is still strong. And I look at the annual plans I did 10 years ago and I say, what a good habit. Because there are things that I would never have done if I hadn't planned for them.